Hey, thank you for joining me for this week's video update. And I realize this isn't true for everybody, but this week has been big in the Tuttle household because college football officially kicked off for us Thursday night when Ohio State beat Minnesota. And to be sure, we're filming this before the game happens, so I'm counting on it going well. I'm also counting on the fact that you'll be sure to tell me this weekend if it didn't. Hey, I want to make sure you get this. If you've known me long, ever been in my office, ever been in our home to our family room, Sandy told me I could decorate the bathroom off the family room with my OSU stuff, but I kind of misheard her, although it's in there too. But having grown up in Columbus, this illness has been there my whole life. I share that so you can understand better what happened this summer. Sandy and I were on vacation and the keyless start system warning light in our car lit up. Now, this was 2 days before we were to head home. I had done some reading online and it said it's possible the car would just shut itself off in the trip. The good news was there was a recall, and so the repairs could be free. I called the Honda dealership in town. They were able to squeeze us in the next morning, so I went early. I got checked in, and I was told to be 30 minutes before a mechanic could even look at it to determine the cause of the problem. So I took in my Bible so I could do my reading and my prayer journal and that sort of stuff. And after I did my reading, as usual, I read what you had highlighted in your reading. And this is one of those verses, Romans 12:18. It said, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. I'm in Florida, reading Romans 12:18, wearing my Ohio State hat, and right there in front of me is someone wearing his maize and blue. Now, for those who don't know, those are the colors of the University of Michigan. Our arch rivals, nemesis, skunk weasels. You get the idea, right? I read the verse again and laughed. Listen, I'd already noticed that his shirt is a Fellowship of Christian Athletes shirt. I took my hat off and went over and introduced myself. By the way, I don't do that a lot, but I found out that he's a regional rep for Fellowship of Christian Athletes and a part-time youth pastor at a church plant. We talked about what God's doing in the lives of students in his region and at his church. We had a great conversation. Only people who understand the rivalry between the two schools can appreciate what that says about the kingdom of God and how it transcends everything. Everything. I know that sounds stupid to those who are not fans of college football or understand rivalries, but I want to make sure you get that I'm talking about how the kingdom of God is more important than anything that could divide us. And there's a lot in our culture that is trying to divide us. Paul wrote to the church in Philippi, therefore, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from his love, if any common sharing in the Spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and of one mind. Here's his next words. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves. Not but each in the interests of others. COVID is making the news again. I want to make sure you know that we're paying close attention to still taking precautions with our cleaning, distance between the rows in our room. Masks are not required, although you will notice that some are choosing to wear them. And it seems to me that if your response to that last thing I just said is anything other than, well, you know what, if that helps people feel more safe in worship, I want to encourage you to go back and look up Philippians for yourself. It's not just rival sports that have the ability to draw lines that shouldn't be there. Politics do. COVID does. It's how we look out for each other, even if we disagree, especially if we disagree. Listen, the enemy will use anything to cause division, which is why Jesus would say in Matthew 12, every kingdom divided against itself will be ruined, and every city or household divided against itself will not stand. Listen, that applies to us at MCC. So just a thought as I reminisced about a pastor friend I made this summer. And along those lines, church walls have divided us. I love that here at MCC we believe that as long as you claim Jesus as the Son of God, there is one church. Many congregations in our city that have different traditions and ways of doing ministry, but one church. I remind you because I have another pastor friend who's here in the Burg. Mike Hout is the pastor of St. Jacob's Lutheran Church just down the street from our building. This weekend they are celebrating their 200th birthday as a congregation. So from congratulations, Mike. Congratulations, St. Jacob's. Shine the light, man. Hey, this Sunday we conclude our series from Titus that's helping us know how to live when our culture and faith collide. And this week we look at what kind of citizens we need to be. We all know we live in a country that, while not perfect, is still the best nation on the planet. And we all know that as members of the kingdom, we're supposed to be model citizens. And while what Paul tells us is not new, we do need reminders, especially in the current climate, what it means to live out being members of the kingdom, citizens of the kingdom, as citizens of our country. Hey, whether you're joining us online or on campus this weekend, I'm looking forward to seeing you.